everybody. Alright, so let me go ahead and answer your first question. What the hell am I? What is going on here? Why am I in this area? Has the world gone mad? Am I going crazy? Well, apparently we've been making some adjustments in this house. Therefore, we've been making adjustments in my room. So, you know the classic desk I always use to film my videos? Well, guess what? It's gone. Yep. Used to be a fix there, but it's just gone. So, without a desk, I can't film videos on my usual way. Therefore, this is how I'm gonna do it. You hate me for that? Well, it's not my fault. I told my mom I would like to keep the desk for videos, but we have to get rid of it anyway. Let's just get to the big topic here. Related to what I'm discussing, I'm over here just bringing up my own real situations. You know what else does that? Biographies. Movies that are told based off of a story that's true. But then there's movies out there that instead of just being based off a true story, they essentially are the true story. That is where we draw the topic here. A documentary. Today I'm going to tell you all why I think that a documentary doesn't necessarily count as an actual movie. Therefore isn't something that I can rate among other movies. Or just consider to be a movie like the others. So, like with Lord of the Rings, as you can see back there, what if I compared that to, say, I don't know, a documentary on sports, a sports documentary? You think that's a good way of comparing? I don't necessarily. And if you want me to explain why, I will. If you don't want me to explain why, I'm still going to. So documentaries are a range of movies that don't actually tell its own story. What a documentary does is kind of focus on a real situation. Like it's all filmed through real footage camera. Instead of being actually movie filmed, it's just filmed by some random dude, essentially. Of footage of real things happening and just the background of it. That's kind of just what a documentary does. A documentary just shows off a bunch of different filmings of real cases on basically zero budget. Now, there's a difference in some documentaries is another thing. That being that some documentaries are stories that are told by some guy sitting in a chair showing footage, like narrated stuff. Or maybe there's those kind of documentaries out there that really are just someone like vlogging on the big screen. That's kind of what most documentaries are like. Take with the comedy documentaries. There have been some out there. With movies like Jackass or Super Size Me or Bowling for Copland, those kind of documentaries are different. Because those mostly are just known of people filming their own little lives on no budget. Just, having their own little vlogs or whatever. Essentially a YouTube video you would see someone like Mr. Beast do, but on a budget even Mr. Beast can laugh at, but still on the big screen. Hey, I think it's good. Maybe Mr. Beast should make a movie. I'm gonna see if I can get Mr. Beast to get encouraging, He'd be a perfect movie star. He's already rich. He already have over 100 million subscribers. He should make his way to the big screen. Off topic, however. There's a reason I don't really consider that to work within the overall movie world. In movies, what you're trying to get out of it is a certain taste of entertainment, of something that you have found someone creating, something that someone creates. A new adventure. Even if it's based off a true story, it's still offering something new. Even if it's somehow 100% accurate, there's still something new to it. The new actors, the new cinematography, all the new stuff that they make for us to make it more interesting. With a documentary, you're just getting that story. Like, you're not getting a new, fun, cinematic way of it being told. You're just getting it. Just getting straight to the point. You're just getting, like, you're not getting a story. You're just getting, like, a little, interesting take. Which, again, just seems like something you would see on a YouTube video. Like, a historic documentary is just something you would see on a video that your teacher at school would show you. Yeah. Well, you teach me, if you're watching my video for some reason, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they seem to have a different kind of idea. A documentary just, puts the take on something interesting. It's either something that's filmed on no budget and just made as a regular vlog or something that you just happen to put on the big screen, or it's a true story that's told just the historic way. It's just a narrated thing, like just a narrated story through. And those don't really count much within an actual film, which is meant to, again, just be a fun story told of entertainment. New filmings, a new adventure, a new fantasy, a new comedy. Something new. Even if it's based off something old, it's still new. So that's kind of just what I think for it. And that's why I think documentaries aren't necessarily actual movies. And that's why I don't rank them, because I think that documentaries don't actually count to what the actual movies I watch. Do I avoid documentaries? Not necessarily. I mean, again, I do have to watch them at school, so I can't always escape them. But when I do watch a documentary, I don't count it for the movies I watch. I don't rank it with the others or anything. Documentaries are their own thing. However, in movie terms, documentaries are their own thing. But what if I told you they aren't they count within anything else? That's right, people. What if I told you that I don't think a documentary movie is an actual movie? But what if I told you a documentary TV series is an actual TV series? And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. There's a difference in terms of what a TV series is meant to do. Again, yeah, a TV series is meant to entertain you, but the main focus is mainly just to be just a big, long adventure separated into separate parts. And honestly, documentaries can do that. It can separate into certain parts. So really, that does work with the TV series. A TV series is all about, having a huge, big story that's so long that it's separated into certain parts. Certain episodes, certain seasons, or hell, just certain series overall. There have been those. And realistically, a documentary is able to do that. Especially with the ones you can get on TV. Because when you have a documentary on TV, that documentary does have to split into separate parts. Each separate part does have its own way to it. Now that being said, that makes it work as a series. Because it does follow that trope of just being a big story separated into certain parts. And while, again, it doesn't actually follow an entertaining story compared to others, like if I went to someone and compared Game of Thrones to, I don't know, Planet Earth from National Geographic, what if I just went up to someone and compared a National Geographic show to something like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones? Would you think I'm being fair with the rankings? Some people I know probably wouldn't. But me personally, it's fair to rank them. Because they are both shows. They are both, big long things separated into separate parts. Because that is what they are. And not just with TV shows. What about with other things like direct-to-video features or stuff like that? Because the way that the documentaries are edited into other things besides movies is actually pretty different. There's kind of a difference between what you get in a documentary of a video or a TV special. Documentaries range from all sorts of media, but to me, the world of feature films is the only world that honestly I think is where they don't necessarily belong in the rank. But everywhere else, TV shows, videos, TV specials, I think they belong to count there because they are following that trope. The trope of those is being just, being a certain idea. Like a TV special is supposed to be a short little something to keep you from the seat, essentially based on something you see on TV, which essentially a documentary is working for. Or, a video is just, a feature that's straight to video. And okay, you could argue that, well, if it's just the same idea as a film, why would it count? Well, there's the thing, because in terms, the documentaries you get on a videotape or DVD or Blu-ray or Netflix or Prime Video, or actually, you know what, screw DVDs. No one uses them anymore. I do, kind of still. You're still going to focus on it because you're still going to trope. Realistically, it's all about going with the flow of what it is. Like I was saying, with your DVD that's made straight to DVD, that means it's just something that you only watch for your TV, which is about the same idea as a TV show, which documentaries can be allowed to, and they can work there with the videos, because they're just gonna be part of that area. They're part of the TV. They're made to be watched on TV. We're not necessarily made to be watched on the big screen. I mean, unless you go to a special school-related theater, movies that are essentially just big narrated story books, so what? That's not really something you would watch on the big screen, compared to other things. You could watch on the big screen if you want, but it wouldn't necessarily be a good way of comparing it to something like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. But comparing it to TV shows is fine, because it works in the way the TV shows work. They can be pasted in the same way other TV shows are. That's just how they work. So, if we ever do get a documentary that treats itself as a good movie, that's going to be impossible. Because a documentary is not a new thing. It's something essentially oldly filmed. And in conclusion, when you see a documentary out there, I don't count it as a feature film. And I'm just saying that to prove my opinion. If you think that your documentaries that you watch are actually movies, you can. I'll let you. But me personally, any documentary I watch isn't going to count with the other movies I watch. I'm not going to rank it with them. I'm not going to compare it to them. I'm just going to call them their own thing. It only counts with TV shows or anything TV related because they are what's made for your TV. They are what's made for a screening of your TV. They're made to work with the TV shows you do. Not really made to work with the features that you go with. They're made to be short. You know? They're not made to be big and long. They're made to follow in a short path instead of a very long path. If you get my point, I'm glad. If you don't, there you go. I'm not going to talk about a documentary and compare it to a movie. I only talk about movies on this channel, so documentaries, no, not watching them. That's just what I need to say. That's all I need to say. I am not going to be watching or reviewing any documentaries for this channel. That's all I need to say. And I guess you can see why. If you still can't, doesn't matter. I'm not doing it. Well, thank you so much. And I hope we all can accept that this is where I'm going to be recording my stuff, because I don't have a desk. Therefore, I can just film on my floor. I'm not kidding. I'm literally just filming on my floor. Like, seriously, I'm just sitting down. I'm 17 years old. I'm filming YouTube videos like this. You get a job.